Hey, what up? This is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. Thanks again for checking out another one of my videos. Please like and subscribe and share. So basically, Biden, he just released a documentation stating what he's looking to do to combat COVID-19. So after looking at this documentation, I see some great things in here that will help us out for our travels. So I want to get into this article. We'll go into it, and then I'll let you know my thoughts on this. So I pulled an article from whitehouse.gov. And basically, I want to highlight a few things within this article that I noticed. Actually, there's two sections that I'm actually paying attention to. And basically what it says here, ensure all Americans have access to regular, reliable, and free testing. The first bullet point says, double the number of drive-through test sites, invest in next generation testing, including at the home test and instant test, so we can scale up our testing capacity by orders of magnitude. Stand up a pandemic testing board like Roosevelt War Production Board is how we produce tanks, planes, uniforms, and supplies in record time, and is how we will produce and distribute tens of thousands of tests. The last bullet point, establish a U.S. public health job corp to mobilize at least 100,000 Americans across the country with support from trusted local organizations and communities, most at risk to perform culturally competent approaches to contact tracing and protecting at-risk populations. Then the next section says, fix personal protection equipment, PPE, problems for good. President Biden is taking responsibility and giving states, cities, tribes, and territories the critical supplies they need. So it says here, the first bullet point, fully use the Defense Production Act to ramp up production of masks, face shields, and other PPE so that the national supply and personal protection equipment exceed demands in our stores and stockpiles, especially in hard-hitting areas that serve disproportionately vulnerable populations are fully replenished. Next bullet point, build immediately towards a future of flexible American-sourced and manufactured capability to ensure we are not dependent on other countries in a crisis. So some of the key elements that I see from this article that he released from the White House is the fact that he's looking to ramp up testing and also look up new technologies for testing. So I think that that's going to be a great move for us for our travel game, because one of the biggest issues that we're running into while traveling is the fact that if we did the PCR test and if there was like tons of people taking the test, we were running into issues of not getting our test back in time. I know a lot of people has reported that they had issues of slowdowns and things of that nature. So this is why this is like very important for us as far as him, that he's ramping up not only testing, but also the technology that if we could do this from home, if we could do a PCR test from home, or if we could get the PCR test quicker than what it is before, such as 2-3 days later, that would help us travel. And then coming back into the United States, one of the things is that they're telling us that we need a COVID test to get back. Well, hey, if we could do a home test from there, maybe that might help. I'm not sure how the whole thing will work with the home test, but nonetheless, depending on which country you're going to, such as we know that Dominican Republic, they're offering free tests at resorts and hotels. Colombia, you could go to different labs and get the regular test. They're not looking for a PCR test to enter back into the United States. So that's a plus for us, that we could take the test and get the results that same day, and we're able to come back to the United States. And it needs to be within 3 days, which is not a problem. The biggest issue is the PCR test, which those are actually, more detailed, in depth, and those take longer. So since the United States is not asking for a PCR test, that's great for us. But also Biden, what I'm hearing in other news cycles, news articles, is that they're stating that when we come back from traveling, we'll have to quarantine for 10 to 14 days or so. That's nice. I'm sure that they'll probably keep track of those who are visiting, but for regular residents, I don't think that would be an issue, something to be concerned about, because I know that for me, usually whenever I get back, I still just quarantine anyways, because I like working from home. So I'm not trying to rush back into the office anytime soon. I'm trying to avoid to go to the office in general. But who knows how they're going to track to make sure that you're quarantining. This United States, you have to have a lot of resources to track everybody. So I don't think that's going to be something really big to be worried about, something important to be worried about, because of the fact that there's tons of people that are traveling, and I'm sure they're not going to track every single person. But hey, I could be wrong. That's just my assumption. But yo, this is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. Thanks again for checking out another one of my videos. Please like and subscribe, and also let me know what you guys think about this. You think that this article will be able to help us out with traveling, or do you think that it's not going to do anything for us? But once again, thanks again, and I'm out.